Do you remember the first time that you saw Mom?
Yeah, I do. The first time I saw her, I think it was in the second floor ICU up in Bismarck, St. Alexis. Well, I thought she was really, really, really pretty. She had a really, truly beautiful smile, you know, the kind of smile that makes you want to really smile back, and she had dimples, too.
I was a student, and he was a physician there at the hospital. And so Dad came to give us a guest lecture. And, of course, you know, the girls in the class, myself included, saw him and thought he was cute, you know. But we knew he was married, and, you know, we'd talk about it among ourselves at break that, oh, he's a cute guy, but, you know, darn, all the good ones are taken kind of thing.
You know, she was bringing me some blood gas results, and then...
What is that?
That blood gas is, and then sometimes it tells you when you need to intubate somebody, put a tube in them, you know.
So, very romantic setting.
Well, you know, I think it's romantic in the sense that from a lot of not positive things you have to deal with, and you can sit down and talk to someone like I did with your mom. You know, she was really nice to talk to. She was easy to talk to. And the other thing I noticed, I mean, there were things in her family that were similar to my family as far as, you know, an alcoholic father and how that affects you, and kids from alcoholic families, you know, we have certain traits that attract us to one another. We worked there for a while and kind of got to be really more, you know, good friends, and she eventually left.
One of the major reasons, probably the major reason that I left St. Alexis and left Bismarck was because of how I felt about him. Because I knew that I was in love, and I knew that it was a hopeless situation because he was married. Fairly quickly after I arrived in town, got asked out by actually the guy I bought my house from. He was quite a bit older than me, but he seemed to be a really good guy, a really nice guy. And so I ended up moving in with him, and then he started to drink more and more and more, because when I first met him, he didn't drink. Started out verbally, just, you know, making me feel bad or you know, whatever. And we would have arguments. And one night, finally, it just escalated to the point where he punched me.
She called me because this person that she was with really was an abusive person. And I remember talking to her a lot about that and telling her she needed to get out of there.
He, one night, had been drinking, and I think also doing cocaine, and we were in the bathroom, and I was angry and said that I'd had enough, that I was leaving. And he shoved me up against the counter and got right in my face and said that I would never, ever leave him, not alive. Then he, you know, shoved me and he left. I mean, I had called my parents and my sister before all of this ugliness started to tell them that I'd met this wonderful, great guy that was so sweet and caring. And then I finally did break down and call my sister, and she said, well, you know, come here. When I got back to Bismarck, I would go into work at night. I would see Mike, and we just kind of, a deep friendship developed over time. Eventually turned into more, and he was still married, and it was wrong, and it was, you know, something, but it's just one of those things, your feelings kind of carry you away, and you're not doing what's right, you're doing what you feel like doing.
It's a little bit of a soap opera there, Dan. You know, I was married at the time that were kind of problems in my marriage because of my wife's drinking, and so, you know, there were times that we would go out to dinner or somewhere. I mean, we drove to Minot once. Hopefully we'd not run into anybody just so we could have dinner together before I was divorced. So these were things that were happening they weren't really shouldn't have been happening, but people are people, and we really had a connection.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really felt very, very close. I still do, of course, but I mean, I don't know. We just kind of were drawn to one another, and next thing you know, we're kind of holding hands and kissing, and things go on from there.
Things had progressed with your dad and I, and within a few months, I was pregnant. Again, he was still married. He had tried to make things work, and things weren't working, so they got divorced. We openly dated then, and then, I had Adam, and we bought a house and moved in together, and then, of course, started a family.
How did you propose?
Well, it's kind of funny. We were in Minneapolis at the Mall of America looking at rings, and finally we found one that we really liked, and so we decided to get it. As we left, we decided we'd go eat. And so we got on the escalator. I turned to him and I said, you've never really asked me to marry you. I mean, we're picking out a ring and stuff, but you've never really proposed. Said, okay, well, Mary Jo, will you marry me? So I kind of laughed and said, well, yes, and we had a laugh about it because we'd already bought a ring.
Do you remember what restaurant it was?
I think it was a Ruby Tuesday.
Take them to the show and talk all through the movies. Said she want diamonds, I took her to Ruby Tuesdays. If we up at Fridays, I still have it my way. Gone. We strive at home. Gone. I ride on chrome. Y'all don't want no pride from me. What you rappers could get is a job for me. Maybe you could be my intern. An intern.